The 1.5 update has brought us a bunch of new stronger enemies and buffed up versions of the older existing enemies in Stardew Valley. But the update has also brought us some very substantial upgrades to our weapons and potential damage output. I wanted to make a video about the top 5 most annoying enemies in Stardew Valley, but it was kind of difficult to represent how annoying and difficult they are to deal with when using these really overpowered weapons. So I thought it would be appropriate to unequip my overpowered rings and not use my infinity blade or even my extra strong infinity gavel. Instead, I will be using a regular old galaxy sword. This way I can show off these enemies and how they appear to many Stardew Valley players who haven't made it to the super end game yet. Before I start, which enemy in Stardew Valley really grinds your gears? Please let me know in the comments. I wonder if your list matches mine. This list is in no particular order, but number 1 on my list are these squid guys. They can only be found in the dangerous version of the regular mines. You will start to find these squids really early into the mine. I think I started to see them starting from floor 15. They kind of float in the air and they swim towards you. But it's not a passive calm swim, it's more like a dart. They dart towards you. Think of a slime's charged attack. It can be very annoying to deal with, especially when there are many of them slowly surrounding you from all angles. They can also apply a weakness debuff on you that reduces your attack stat by 20. Just to be clear, the debuff doesn't reduce your damage by 20, it reduces your overall attack stat by 20. I think I was doing about 9 damage per hit when this debuff was on me, so it's quite potent. And to top it all off, when you hit them, they go flying away, meaning you kind of have to chase after them to defeat them. But watch out for their fast dart attack when you chase them. The squid guys are pretty annoying indeed, and just as you stop seeing the squids, you will get to see some more unique enemies that were added in this update. Ghosts are already pretty annoying. They usually don't pose much of a threat because you can just hit them away, but there is a new type of ghost in the dangerous mine, the Putrid Ghost. This is a green toxic ghost. He is mostly the same as the regular ghost, but he can rush at you with incredible speed and then apply a fun little debuff on you, the nauseated debuff. Now this is a strong debuff. It causes your character to be nauseated, thus making you unable to eat or drink anything. So if your health gets really low, you won't be able to eat to heal it back up. So you're kind of stranded and the buff lasts forever. This debuff lasts for 2 full minutes. So watch out for these guys. At least there's a way to remove the debuff. Of course I didn't know about this for quite a while, but if you eat ginger or drink ginger ale, you will be able to remove the nauseated debuff, allowing you to eat and drink again. But without any ginger or ginger ale, these guys are extremely annoying. And what makes them worse is their friend the spider. Hopefully you don't have arachnophobia, because Stardew Valley has spiders now, and they are the worst. They don't do huge chunks of damage, but there are swarms of them. You can easily find 20 or even 30 spiders all in one spot. There are some cases where there are a lot of slimes, but you can usually back them up against the wall. Spiders seem to be immune to knockback, and they jump around a lot. If that was it, they wouldn't be too hard to deal with. But when they're in their jump animation, they are completely immune to damage, making them really annoying to deal with, especially with their numbers. You can swing your sword as fast as you want, and you just won't be dealing any damage. Pair the spiders with the Putrid Ghosts, these are probably the most difficult floors in the dangerous version of the regular mine. Next up, let's head to the volcano. When you first unlock the volcano, you won't have an infinity blade or anything fancy like combined rings. You will probably only have your galaxy sword and some iridium bands. But in here you will find these Magma Sprites. It seems like all of the most annoying enemies in Stardew Valley are flying enemies. These guys make bats and ghosts look easy. They fly really fast towards you and it feels like they have a huge chunk of health. At least with ghosts, When you hit them, they go flying far away, giving you some room to breathe. But the Magma Sprite just gets knocked back a little bit and then flies straight back at you. When there are more than one of them, they usually circle around you and make your life just generally more difficult than it needs to be. As you get deeper in the volcano, you will start to see the upgraded version of the Magma Sprite, the Magma Sparker. They are more or less the same, they just have one extra move. They fly close to you, then suddenly stop, and then they dash through you all of a sudden. It is incredibly annoying because you kind of get used to the other flying enemies. Then these guys suddenly bring new moves in, and it's pretty annoying, I won't lie. I can handle the Magma Sprites, but the Magma Sparker feels like it was designed to just mess with you. They also have quite a lot of health, so defeating them with a normal Galaxy Sword can also take quite a while. But it is worth fighting through these enemies and getting to floor 10 in the volcano, because then you will unlock the Forge, arguably one of the best new features of the 1.5 update. All of those enemies that used to annoy you, well, with the Forge you can craft some pretty overpowered weapons that will greatly assist you in defeating all of them, showing them who's boss and making them sorry for ever crossing paths with you and your Infinity Blade. I'm sure many of you expected it, but the last annoying enemy on this list can be found in the Skull Cavern, and that is the Green Serpent. Every new Stardew Valley player has come to the Skull Cavern for the first time at some point, and here they will meet their greatest enemy, the Serpent. I've seen so many posts on Reddit and even messages on Stardew Valley Discord about how people just hate the Skull Cavern, and especially these serpents. And it's all for a good reason. When you hear that sound that a serpent is coming, an automatic sense of fear is settling in you, because you know he will be flying at you at a remarkable speed any second now, hitting you for 40 damage, and if you don't time your swings right, rushing right through your weapon and then turning around to do it again. The serpents were added in the game to make finding Iridium harder, and it worked, especially for new players. But as you play, you'll soon realize that they aren't that bad. Most of the enemies on this list aren't that bad when you get the best weapon in the game. They are just in the way at best. So if you are a new player and you're struggling with some of these enemies, just keep on going, and before you know it, you will know their attack patterns and will have developed your own strategies to defeat them. Just don't give up, and you got this. An honorable mention is slimes. When you first play Stardew Valley, slimes are pretty annoying. They jump at you, they slow you, and they are definitely the tankiest enemy in the game. But since you can stunlock them against walls, they didn't quite make the list. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was quite fun to remove all of my overpowered endgame items and just to see how tough the enemies actually are in Stardew Valley. I think I've gotten a little bit better at combat in Stardew Valley because it was tough, but not as tough as I remembered. If you liked this video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I try to release a new video every day, and I'm busy working on my Let's Play series. But for now, I will see you in the next video.